Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. Today we're going to talk about Origin Trail, and it has gone up about 100% in the last 24 hours, probably more, and that is because of a Coinbase listing. Now, I do think Coinbase listed it because it is ERC20 and they're listing a lot of ERC20 coins. So even though Ethereum blockchain definitely has its pitfalls, whereas the transactions cost way too much money, it does have its advantages in terms of Coinbase listing. So if you actually look at the market for Origin Trail, Coinbase is the first and perhaps the only US exchange. Bittrex is kind of small. It doesn't have much volume. But Coinbase is the first and perhaps only big US exchange that actually has listed Origin Trail. I know you can get stuff at KuCoin, but if you actually look at KuCoin, it's not actually a US sanctioned exchange. Also, like Binance.us does not have it, which would be another big on ramp. And also, Crypto.com, etc., does not have it either. VeChain has all of those, but VeChain is not ERC20. So the thing is, Origin Trail got listed first. Now, despite getting listed, it's still number 102. It's still slightly outside the top 100 with a market cap of 1 billion. Now, I have heard of Origin Trail before, and Origin Trail is actually a valid business, a valid project. It's not nearly as big as VeChain. It doesn't have the partnerships, but it does operate around in the same industry as VET. They do supply chain management, they do supply chain tracking, food tracking, etc. So they are getting on another big exchange, and that's why they're up. Now, in terms of price wise, I do expect this to dump down to $2 or slightly under $2. We all know the Coinbase effect. It tends to pump and then it tends to dump with most coins. Now, since Origin Trail didn't have other US on-ramps at this point, it pumped a lot more than something like VeChain would. My guess is VeChain was pumped something like 30% if Coinbase actually added them, and then go back down after a couple of days, which is kind of what I predict for Origin Trail. It probably won't dump back down to 120 or 130, which is where it was before they started moving up, but probably $2 or slightly under $2. This isn't massive partnership news. It is an exchange listing, but it does allow US investors to actually invest in Origin Trail because there wasn't really another sanctioned US on-ramp before. Now, a little bit about Origin Trail. Where is it located? It's actually headquartered in Slovenia, and they have offices in Hong Kong and Belgrade. VeChain is based in Singapore. So I don't know if the location really gives Origin Trail any kind of advantage over VeChain. I don't really think it does because Slovenia versus Singapore, that's really kind of eh. So I don't think either of them really have a huge advantage in terms of location getting listed on Coinbase. So I'm guessing Coinbase listed it because it's ERC20. We know that Coinbase takes a very long time to list non-ERC20 or non-Ethereum tokens. Remember, Cardano only got listed earlier this year, and people have been basically wanting Cardano to be listed for the last 2 or 3 years. And all these things like Shiba Inu, they also got listed. Because they're ERC20. And plus, there's massive demand for Shiba Inu as well. Dogecoin basically got listed because of the huge Elon Musk FOMO, and Coinbase just couldn't avoid it at that point. So I do believe VeChain will get listed sometime. I just don't really know when. But I doubt it's because where VeChain is located, because they are headquartered in Singapore, whereas this company's headquartered in Slovenia, so I don't really think it gives them an advantage. But I'm not really sure what the requirements are. But I've always said that Origin Trail is a good hedge against VET when I talk about it. They do operate in the same kind of space as VeChain. And, the thing is, if you want to be diversified in the supply chain management area in terms of cryptocurrencies, you would invest in Origin Trail as a diversification from VeChain. It's good to have several companies in the same space. You don't exactly know which ones are going to grow big or which ones are going to be the leaders in the industry. So diversifying out at this point in a market is very, very beneficial to investors. They do have some pretty good software and tracking. They do have a couple of partnerships. I think the last partnership I heard from TRAC was a year ago, though. But they are working with partners. Their products are getting out there in the marketplace. And even though I think the price is a little inflated right now, I probably would wait for it to go under $2 to actually buy some Origin Trail. I do think it's a pretty good long-term investment. There's going to be more room than for one project in this space. So diversifying your money out in this space, because I do think logistics, supply chain tracking for blockchain is going to be pretty big. diversifying your money out in more than one project is probably a good idea. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.